Now, another topic is anemia in children. Anemia in children, very common topics. Before I going to discuss about the anemia, there's pallor or anemia. Always you confuse. Pallor and anemia, it is not same things. Same things. What is pallor? What is anemia? What is pallor? What is pallor is symptom. Pallor is symptom, but anemia is the lab diagnosis. But anemia is the pallor is symptom or sign, but anemia is the lab diagnosis. Definition of pallor. Pallor, it is sign. Pallor may be sign, may be symptom, but anemia is lab diagnosis. If you told the anemia in bedside, you will get less marks. Pallor generally indicates anemia, but pallor occurs may be due to other causes such as anemia, poor peripheral circulation, shock, and severe edema. Now I want to tell about the anemia. What do you mean by anemia? Anemia means hemoglobin level less than normal for age and sex. If hemoglobin level reduce less than normal for age and sex, you should remember age and sex. So in neonate, if it is less than 14 gram percent, you know the normal. In neonate, 14 to 20 gram percent is normal. In 1 month to 12 months, it is 10 gram percent. In 1 year to 12 years, it is less than 11 gram percent. In more than 12 years, it is less than 12 gram percent. So, if the level is reduced than this value, we call anemia, not pallor, anemia. But in WHO, in WHO, they define anemia in adult when hemoglobin less than 11 gram percent. Now, normal level of hemoglobin, you should know the normal level of hemoglobin in 12 to 18 years. In 12 to 18 years, hemoglobin male is 14.5 gram. In female, it is 14 gram. But if it occurs in newborn period, it is the patient is anemic. So you should know the normal value in older children. Male it is 14.5 gram and female it is 14 gram. Now causes of anemia, very important. Common causes of anemia in our country is nutritional anemia, hemolytic anemia, bone marrow disease, anemia of chronic disease. So what are the causes of nutritional anemia? Most common is IDA. IDA means iron deficiency anemia. And number 2 is folic acid deficiency. And vitamin B12 deficiency. So most important 3 causes of nutrition anemia is iron deficiency anemia, in folic acid deficiency anemia, and due to vitamin D deficiency anemia. But most common is iron deficiency anemia. Number 2 heading is hemolytic anemia. You know the hemolytic anemia. That's number 1 is congenital hemolytic anemia, and congenital hemolytic anemia is thalassemia and hemoglobinopathy. So chronic hemolytic anemia, number 1. Number 2, chronic hemolytic anemia, and number 1 is hemoglobinopathy. Hemoglobinopathy means hemoglobin E disease, hemoglobin H disease, hemoglobin S disease. So number 2 is hemolytic anemia, that is thalassemia and hemoglobinopathy. Number 4 is bone marrow disease. Bone marrow disease, inflammatory disease, now leukemia and aplastic anemia. Aplastic anemia, this is a bone marrow disease. Anemia of chronic disease, now malaria, chronic disease, malaria, kalajor, SLE, chronic liver disease, chronic kidney disease, CKD, and inflammatory bowel disease. So anemia of chronic disease, what are the causes of anemia of chronic disease? There is kalajor, malaria, and also the SLE, IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, and also the CKD meaning chronic kidney disease. Among these, which one is most common? Most common is IDA, iron deficiency anemia. Cause of anemia in neonate. Very important questions. That also occurs in anemia in neonate. And number 1 is premature and low birth weight, because they will get less iron. And also they are growing, and these nutrient supplements are also less. Twins, in case of twins, if the twins, some blood goes to the another twins, this is called the twin transfusion, and in that case the receiving twin becomes plethoric and donor twins becomes anemic. And fetal-maternal transfusion, if the blood goes to the fetus to the mother, in that case fetus may be anemic. And repeated blood sampling in case of sometimes in neonatal ward, some cases we should do the repeated blood sampling. In that case, newborn may be anemic. Early clamping of the umbilical cord, very important. If umbilical cord is clamped less than 30 seconds, in that case less blood comes from the placenta to the baby and baby becomes anemic. And another one is hemolytic and hemorrhagic disease of the newborn. Of course, the hemolytic and hemolytic means AB and RS incompatibility, and hemorrhagic disease of the newborn means due to deficiency of vitamin K dependent factor 2, 7, 9, 10. And another one is neonatal sepsis. So these 7 causes very more important cause of neonatal anemia. Now, very good questions and invariably asked in the Viva board. What are the causes of microcytic hyperchromia? Microcytic means cell is small, hyperchromia means the hemoglobin is less. So less hemoglobin, small cell. What are the causes of microcytic hyperchromia? Causes of microcytic hyperchromia, number 1 is IDA, very important, iodine deficiency anemia. Number 2 is congenital hemolytic anemia. You say the thalassemia, because thalassemia is more common. Number 3 is sideroblastic anemia. And number 4 is anemia of chronic disease, such as rheumatoid arthritis, such as kalajor, malaria, and CKD, and lead poisoning. So these are the causes of microcytic hyperchromic anemia. Now, classification of anemia, very important. There is pathogenesis or etiological classification anemia. Anemia may be blood loss, anemia may be destruction of the RBC, anemia may be decreased RBC production. So blood loss, destruction, reduced production, all things leads to anemia. So anemia due to blood loss. Why blood loss? Maybe acute blood loss, maybe chronic blood loss. What is the cause of acute blood loss? Due to trauma and hematemesis. Due to trauma and hematemesis, for this cause you will get the anemia due to acute. You may get the acute losses. So acute loss due to trauma and hematemesis, and chronic loss. Chronic loss, most important is the chronic loss is the hookworm infestation in our country, very common. Hookworm infestations, very common, and also the peptic ulcer diseases due to the rupture esophageal varices due to portal hypertension, and Meckel diverticulum and polyposis. So most important cause which is asked in Viva board is chronic losses, hookworm infestation. Hookworm infestation, number 1. Number 2 is peptic ulcer diseases. Peptic ulcer diseases. Number 3 is rupture esophageal varices in portal hypertension. Number 4 is Meckel diverticulum. Meckel diverticulum and Meckel diverticulum. Number 5, intestinal polyposis. So these 3 to 4 things is more common in chronic blood losses. And anemia due to disease, decreased RBC production. So RBC production, substance deficiency, this is folic acid deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin C deficiency, bone marrow failure, that is leukemia, aplastic anemia, and also the bone chronic disease. So anemia due to decreased RBC production, substance deficiency, vitamin C, folic acid, vitamin B12, bone marrow failure means aplastic anemia and leukemia, and also the bone marrow inflammatory disorder, and some cases due to chronic diseases. Now RBC destruction and hemolytic anemia, very important, which is asked in Viva board, hemolytic anemia. Now hemolytic anemia, classify hemolytic anemia. Hemolytic anemia is there is RBC destruction. Why? The congenital or intrinsic or intercorpuscular defect of the RBC. If we think it is RBC, so in intercorpuscular, in between, inside the RBC, if there is intrinsic or intercorpuscular defect, if it extrinsic this extracorpuscular defect, in two or more common pathogenic factor or causes of hemolytic anemia. So what are the causes of congenital or intrinsic intercorpuscular anemia? Very important is the deficient globin synthesis. You know the globin is the same which helps in synthesis of the hemoglobin. If there is defect in the globin synthesis or reduced globin synthesis, patient develops thalassemia or hemoglobinopathy or hemoglobin, that is hemoglobin E disease. In that case, patient develop anemia. So in deficient globin synthesis gives rise to thalassemia, and if patient develop abnormal globin synthesis, that means in globin chain there is more amino acid. If one amino acid is replaced by another, so globin structure are changed. So structural change of hemoglobin gives rise to hemoglobinopathy, that is hemoglobin E disease, sickle cell disease. But if globin chain deficient, that is beta globin, alpha globin, alpha 2, beta 2 chain, if beta, alpha or beta sensitivity defect reduce, give rise to thalassemia. It structurally abnormal hemoglobin synthesis give rise to hemoglobinopathy, such as hemoglobin E disease, sickle cell anemia. The enzymatic defect, that is G6PD deficiency, usually occurs in stressful condition and some drugs induce hemolysis. This membrane defect hereditary spherocytosis. So these are the congenital or intrinsic or intracorpuscular causes of hemolytic anemia. You should remember, it is asked in Viva board. Now, acquired or extrinsic or extracorpuscular causes of anemia. Now, these are acquired or extrinsic or extracorpuscular. Acquired or extrinsic or extracorpuscular. Again, it depends on antibody mediated and mechanical trauma and hypersplenism. In antibody mediated, immune mediated, that is RH and AB incompatibility and transfusion rejection. And autoimmune mediated is they may be idiopathic, which is secondary. In secondary, there may be due to SLE, some drugs, and infection mononucleosis. And mechanical trauma, such as microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. What is this? This is anemia, that is has hemolytic uremic syndrome, DIC. And hypersplenism, of course, there may be anemia, there may be leukopenia, there may be thrombocytopenia. So, in case of acquired or extrinsic extracellular causes of hemolytic anemia, antibody mediated, again it divided into immune mediated, but RH and AB incompatibility, blood transfusion rejection, and in case of autoimmune mediated, idiopathic secondary. In secondary, there may be SLE, there may be infection mononucleosis, there may be drug induced, such as methyl dopa. In mechanical trauma, such as angiopathic hemolytic anemia, such as HAS, DIC, and hypersplenism. Now, iron deficiency anemia. Before I discussed about the iron deficiency anemia, I will tell the something general concept. Total iron level is adult total body iron is 5 gram, and newborn is 0.5 gram, and daily requirement is 10 gram per day, and site of absorption is duodenum and jejunum in perisperm, and there is storage from spiritin hemosiderin. You should write down this. The total iron level adult 5 gram and newborn 0.5 gram, and daily requirement 10 milligram per day, and site of absorption is duodenum and jejunum in perisperm, and storage form is spiritin and hemosiderin. Very important. The absorption site is duodenum and jejunum, and storage form is spiritin and hemosiderin, and daily requirement 10 gram per day. And source of iron, there is heme iron, there is non-heme iron. And non-heme iron, there is meat, liver, fish, and poultry. And non-heme, green leaf vegetables, banana, kochu shak, beans, pulses, tubers, dried fruits. So, heme iron and non-heme iron. This meat, liver, fish, and poultry. And non-heme iron, very important. Green leaf vegetables, banana, kochu shak, beans, pulses, tubers, and dried fruits. And heme iron, these heme iron are readily absorbable without inhibition. So a heme iron is readily absorbable. And factors influence the iron absorption: increase absorption of the iron by the vitamin C and protein, and decrease absorption of the iron by the phytate, which is unrefined cereals, phosphate which is present in eggs, tannins, which is present in tea and legumes, and polyphenol, which is present in coffee and spinach. These all things reduce the absorption of the iron. And iron homeostasis, very important. There is the figure. Look at this picture. This plasma contains 4 gram. 4 gram. From where it is come from? From body store, from myoglobin, respiratory enzyme, 5 gram daily, and loss 1 to 2 milligram daily. And from erythrocyte contains 5,000 milligram, which comes from the plasma, RBC production, and bone marrow. And some comes from erythrocyte, the RE system, RBC destruction, 20 milligram daily, and absorption 1 to 2 milligram daily. Now iron absorption, very important. This is the heme iron. You know, heme iron is directly absorbed into the intestinal mucosa. Food iron, which is non-heme iron, it is ferric state. In stomach, by the help of hydrochloric acid and vitamin C, it converts into ferrosporum. In ferrosporum, it enters into the duodenum, in mucosa of the duodenum, and in mucosa is after entering the mucosa, again is converted into ferritin, and some of the ferrosporum goes to the blood in ferrosporum, and after entering the blood, it again converted into the ferric form and goes to the blood and liver, and in blood this iron combined with transferrin, which is the carrier protein, and some iron goes to the liver storage form, some goes to the bone marrow for another RBC production. So in dietary iron is ferric form, and its absorption form is ferrosporum, and store form is ferritin. When it goes to the blood, again it converts into ferric form, and in ferric form it binds to the transferrin and goes to the storage site, liver and bone marrow. And it leads the idea: decrease intake, decrease absorption, increase loss, increase demand. Please wait for some time. Student, it leaves the idea: decrease intake, decrease absorption, increase losses, increase demand. And diagnosis idea: Diagnosis depends on history, clinical examinations, and investigation. Now, from history, onset is insidious. Presentation, there is non-specific. Failure. When failure develops, its hemoglobin level less than 7 to 8 gram, and when symptom develops, when hemoglobin level less than 5 gram %, and CNS manifestation decrease attention span, alertness and learning, and cognitive defect. Now, there are susceptible infection, non-hematological consequences. Pica. Pica means desire to ingest non-nutritional substances. Desire to ingest non-nutritional substances. Phagopagia. Phagopagia means desire to ingest ice. Present with complication, cardiac failure, high output failure. So, what are the manifestations of iron deficiency anemia? Onset may be insidious. Presentation may be non-specific, such as pallor. When pallor develops, if hemoglobin level less than 7 to 8 gram per dl, and symptoms of anemia, when hemoglobin level less than 5 gram %. What are symptoms of anemia? There may be anorexia, there may be irritability, there may be palpitation, there may be breathlessness on exertion. So, what is symptoms? Symptoms may be anorexia, there may be irritability, there may be palpitation, there may be breathlessness on exertion, and CNS, there is decreased attention of span, alertness, learning, and cognitive defect. So, there is also CNS manifestations: decreased attention, span, alertness, and learning, and cognitive defect. And susceptible infection. Of course, the susceptible infection, because iron is the source for bacterial multiplication. Non-hematological consequences. Pica. Pica means desire to ingest non-nutrition foods particles. Phagopagia means desire to ingest ice, and may present with complications such as heart failure. This heart failure, high output cardiac failure. Now, history of risk factor. Obviously, history of risk factors. This is hook coil infestations, protein energy malnutrition, zeated bleeding, prematurity, low birth weight, inappropriate weaning food, and that is weaning food means sagu, suji, barley, chalar guda, যেগুলো which contains no or less iron. History of Pica. So this risk factors should be asked for diagnosis. Now, examination, science. What is the failure? Failure? Yes. Failure mild, moderate, very severe. The specific sign, yes, nail. Nail becomes, it is a colonychia. What is colonychia? Before tell about the specific sign, failure. Failure, mild, moderate, severe. What are the side of failure? Failure may get into lower palpable conjunctiva, dorsum of the tongue, and nail bed, palmar keys, sole, and skin, and mucous membrane of the mouth. So there is 6 sides. 6 sides. Number 1 is lower palpable conjunctiva. Number 2 is dorsum of the tongue. Number 3, mucous membrane of the mouth. Number 4 is nail bed. Number 5 is palmar keys and sole, and number 6 is skin. So nail. In nail, here is colonychia. What is colonychia? This colonychia is the spoon shape. Colonychia is the spoon shape nail. Colonychia is a spoon shaped nail. It is thin, brittle, and concave and raised edges. So it is spoon shape. Nail is spoon, becomes spoon shape, and thin, brittle, and concave with raised edges. Tongue, very important. Tongue becomes smooth, pale, and depapillated. Tongue, and glossitis. Lip, very important. Lip becomes cracking of the lips. Cracking of the lips. Mouth corner, that is soreness, reds, cracking of the mouth corner. It is called also the stomatitis. In leaf, cracking of the leaf is called the cilitis. So this is the most clinical important sign. In case of thalassemia, sometimes question asks in the bedside, the examiner, if you think the patient suffering from iron deficiency anemia, your answer is sir, no, because this his tongue or his or her tongues not depopulated, and no glossitis, lip is not cracked, there is no angular stomatitis. And what is the findings of abdomen? In abdomen, what will we get abdomen? In some cases, 15% cases, you may get the splenomegaly. If you get the anemia, splenomegaly, coronachia, glossitis, angular stomatitis, cilitis, you think patient suffering from iron deficiency anemia until proved otherwise. Plummer-Vinson syndrome may present with Plummer-Vinson syndrome. Which is Plummer-Vinson syndrome? It is esophageal wave, coronachia, and splenomegaly. If the hemoglobin continues to fall, systolic flow murmur, tachycardia, high output cardiac failure. And these are the signs: pale, smooth and depopulated tongue, cracking of mouth corner, and coronachia. This is the pale, smooth and depopulated tongue. This is the cracking of the mouth corner. It is also called as stomatitis. This is the coronachia, spoon-shaped nail. This is the compartment, no pallor or anemia. No pallor in anemia. This is pale. Healthy pink nail bed, but there is nail bed in anemia. This is pale. And this is the prominent creases. This is the pallor creases. Now investigation. Routine investigation, complete blood count, RBC indices, peripheral blood vein study, reticulocyte count, RBC indices. I think all I discussed in live classes. So thank you my student. And all things I discussed in the last classes. Thank you. Now we tell about the routine investigation of the IDA, iron deficiency anemia, complete blood count, RBC indices, peripheral blood vein study, reticulocyte count, and RBC indices. So what do you do? What will get the findings from the complete blood count? In complete blood count, we'll get the hemoglobin, of course low hemoglobin, and RBC count. Usually we not do this RBC count. The RBC count is of course reduced, and also do the RBC indices. What do the RBC indices? This is MCB, MCS, and MCSC. All are reduced. And also we do the most important is RDW. Most important is RDW, red cell distribution white. It is very important to distinguish from the thalassemia, which is increased. But increase of thalassemia, it is normal. So RBC indices in iron deficiency anemia. Now, what are the findings of peripheral blood film study in iron deficiency anemia? Very important. In peripheral blood film study, in microcytic hypertrophic anemia, microcytic hypertrophic anemia, microcytic hypochromic anemia, most important. And another is anisocytosis and poikilocytosis. Anisocytosis and pyokelocytosis. That is variation of size and shape. Size and shape. And another findings is target cell, pencil-like cell, and elliptic-like cell. Most important, peripheral blood findings in IDA is very important. In asks in Viva board. So what will you get? Number 1 is microcytic hypochromic anemia. Number 2, anisocytosis and pyokelocytosis. Number 3 is abnormal red cell, such as target cell, pencil-like cell, elliptocyte cell. Very important is elliptocyte cell. Elliptocytic red cell is very important. Sometimes in Viva board asked how can a difference between from IDA and peripheral blood print from the thalassemia. And number 2 is reticulocyte count. Reticulocyte count increase or decrease. Which one? It may be normal. Reticulocyte may be normal or low. So in complete blood count, hemoglobin may be reduced and RBC count may be reduced, and also the TCTC may be normal, but sometimes thrombocyte count may be reduced or increase if severe bleeding. In RBC indices, MCB is low, MCS low, MCSC low, and RDW, red cell distribution, also is increase. RDW increase, and TCTC normal. And peripheral blood print study, there is microcytic hypochromic anemia, and also you will get the anisocytosis, pyokelocytosis, and also you get the target cell, pencil-like cell, elliptocytic cell. Very important, elliptocytic cell. Reticulocyte count may be low, normal or low. These are the features, blood picture of iron deficiency anemia. Iron deficiency anemia, that is the pyokelocytosis and anisocytosis, and RBC is pale. Some are target cell, some are pencil-like cell. Now, investigation for diagnosis, biochemical findings, serum iron, serum ferritin level, total iron binding capacity. Very important. What is the level of serum iron? In iron deficiency anemia, low. In ferritin level, also low. And total iron binding capacity increase. Why? Because in iron deficiency anemia, iron is low. So if iron low, ferritin also low. If ferritin low, iron binding capacity increase. So this is difference from thalassemia. In thalassemia, iron is high, so ferritin level is high. Total iron binding capacity is low. Bone marrow study usually not done. It is not usually not done. Investigation for etiology. Stool for occult blood test positive. Stool RE, hookworm, and other investigation for treatment, blood grouping and cross matching for blood transfusion if needed. And now treatment of iron deficiency anemia. Iron deficiency anemia objectives: restore the hemoglobin level to the normal, replenish the depleted iron store. Treatment of underlying causes. Very important is replenish the depleted iron store. If you not replenish the iron store, the level of hemoglobin cannot be normalized and anemia may persist. So very important is replenish the depleted store. Now treatment outline: counseling, specific, supportive, treatment of causes, treatment of complication. This is the treatment outline. Now specific treatment. Oral iron therapy, parenteral iron therapy, blood grouping. Now oral iron therapy. How can you give the oral iron therapy? Very important. is oral iron therapy. Dose is this should write in your written. Also asked in Viva board. Dose is 3 to 6 milligram. 3 to 6 milligram elementary iron per kg per day. Per kg per day. Per day in 3 divided doses. 3 divided doses. And before meal or after meal. Of course, in between meal or before meal or half an hour meal or half an hour meal. Before meal or half an hour meal or in between meal, not after meal. Not after meal, because if you give the not after meal, the iron absorption is reduced. So how duration? Duration is 2 to 3 months. Some books like 4 to 6 weeks. No, in Nelson it written at 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months after replenish the storage size. After replenish the storage size or re-establish the iron store. That means you should continue the 2 to 3 months after replenish the storage size. Storage size, if storage size not saturated, you stop the iron therapy, patient develops again iron deficiency anemia. So you should write down the patient need the 3 to 6 milligram per kg per day in 3 divided iron before meal or after meal, and continue for 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months to normalize, to replenish the iron store. This is the oral iron therapy. Next one is parenteral iron therapy. When indicated parenteral iron therapy, if oral intolerance, if patient develop oral intolerance, if patient develops poor compliance, if patient develops chronic diarrhea, if patient develops malabsorption. When you will get the parenteral iron therapy? Number 1, oral intolerance. Number 2 is poor compliance. Number 3 is chronic diarrhea. Number 3 is malabsorption. So in that cases, we will not allow to give the patient oral iron therapy. In that case of parenteral iron therapy, this is the iron dextran. And when we will treat the patient by blood transfusion, if hemoglobin level less than 4 gram percent, in that case we call it the severe anemia. In that case, we treat the patient 2 to 3 ml per kg fat cell with furosemide, with diuretics, with furosemide. Normally, the amount of blood is 15 to 20 ml per kg, whole blood. But in case of severe anemia is less than 4 gram percent. In that case, blood amount is 2 to 3 ml per kg, not whole blood, fat cell with furosemide. If you not give the furosemide during or after transfusion, patient might develop heart failure. Now, nutritional support. What is the nutritional support? Support is the iron-rich food supplementation. Iron-rich food means supplementation money. Green leafy vegetables, banana, kochur shak, beans, pulses, tubers, and dried fruits, meat, liver, fish, and poultry. So, in our country, in our context, the iron, main source of iron is kochur shak, green leafy vegetables, banana, most important, and avoidance of iron deficient foods, sagu, suji, barley, avoid it. Avoidance of food those interfere iron absorption. Tea, coffee should be avoided because during after meal, because it reduces the absorption of the iron. Treatment of according to cause. If antihelminthic, give antihelminthic, and treatment of complication. This if anemic heart failure, treat accordingly. Now follow up. Follow up may clinical follow up, maybe lab follow up. If clinical follow up, you should get a subsidy improvement. What is subsidy improvement? Patients become irritable, now reduce irritable. Patients have lost his appetite, now regain of appetite. And development of complication such as Plummer-Vinson syndrome or heart failure. And lab diagnosis, of course, you do the hemoglobin level. Hemoglobin level, when you done the hemoglobin level, if patients usually done in 1 month, after 1 month, you shoot the hemoglobin level in less severe cases. But if hemoglobin each enemy is severe, in that case you should do the hemoglobin level after 48 hours. And you should do the reticulocyte count, where is increase or not, or normal. And of course you should the serum iron level, where it becomes normal, especially in the ferritin level. And prognosis, overall prognosis is good. And prevention, how can you prevent? Encourage the breastfeeding, addition of supplemental of iron at 4 months of age, and iron-rich food intake, appropriate weaning, daily oral iron supplementation, routine screening hemoglobin or hematocrit at the age of 9 to 12 months or earlier, and response to iron therapy in IDA. It is asked in the Viva board. After giving iron therapy, within 12 to 24 hours, within 12 to 24 hours, subsidy improvement, that is irritability, reducing irritability, patient gain appetite, and also the replacement of intercellular iron enzyme. After 36 to 48 hours, there is bone marrow response, erythroid hyperplasia. After 48 to 72 hours, reticulocytosis, peak 5 to 7 days. And 4 to 30 days, increase hemoglobin level up to 0.5 gram per dl per 24 hour. And after 1 to 3 months, repletion of the stores. This is asked in Viva board. So remember this. Remember this. Now difference between IDA and thalassemia and anemia of chronic disease. In this chart, so before it is asked in Viva board, in iron deficiency anemia, hemoglobin also decrease, in thalassemia also decrease, in anemia of chronic disease also decrease. But in MCB, iron deficiency IDA they decrease, also thalassemia they decrease, but anemia of chronic disease is normal or decrease. Very important is RDW, red cell distribution wide, which is increases anemia. Normal in thalassemia, normal in chronic anemia, disease or anemia of chronic disease. In RBC, in serum ferritin level, in anemia it is decreased. Thalassemia, serum ferritin level is normal or increase. In anemia of chronic disease, it is increased, and iron binding capacity increase, iron binding capacity decrease in anemia, increase in anemia, and thalassemia decrease. Thalassemia decrease. So you should remember this. You should remember this. In thalassemia, serum iron is raised, ferritin level is low, and total ferritin level is serum iron and ferritin level is low, and total iron binding capacity is increased. Okay. Iron level, ferritin level, total iron binding capacity. Total iron binding capacity, all things should be considered. In IDA, it is low, ferritin also low, but total iron binding capacity increase. In thalassemia, iron is raised, ferritin is raised, but total iron binding capacity is low because more iron. In case of what you know sideroblastic anemia, very important. Some examiner asks what do you mean sideroblastic anemia. Sideroblastic anemia. Here there is iron, no lack of iron, but iron can be utilized. Iron can be utilized. So there is defective heme synthesis. So iron accumulation and deposition. So in that case, when you do the iron level is increased. And sign symptom, common features of anemia, features not related to anemia, depends on etiology. Complete blood count, hemoglobin level 4 to 10 gram, and for bone marrow features and peripheral blood film. Bone marrow features very important. In peripheral blood film, there may be hyperchromia, hyperchromic of dimorphic anemia, that is microcytic or macrocytic anemia. In that case, you may get the basophilic stipple and dipormism. And if you do the bone marrow, you will get the sideroblast and also get the siderocytes and ring sideroblast. So if you ask the what is the sideroblastic anemia, you should tell that this is impaired iron utilization, defective heme biosynthesis, iron accumulation and deposition, and you will get the dimorphic anemia.